morning. Good morning. Is everybody enjoying the rain? Yes. Who? You are? Oh my goodness. Good news for those who aren't enjoying the rain. If you haven't checked, next week looks a little bit more sunny. All right, turn to 1 Samuel chapter 9. We had a very good quiz last week. I see Michael back there. It's nice to see Jenica's brother Michael. He's visiting. And with the quiz, Dean got one last week. Dean, you did a fantastic job with that one. All right. 1 Samuel chapter 9. Read with me in just the first two verses, and then our Bible visitor is here. In chapter 9, now there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zeror, the son of... Does anybody have a problem with names too in the Bible, or is it just me? Okay. The son of Bechorath, and the son of Aphia, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. Okay, so this is... And he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man and a goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. From his shoulders and upward he was higher than any of the people. And it looks like that goodlier man has arrived. Come on down. You must be Saul.
Yes.
Look like you've been working in the fields.
Yeah, I've actually come from a long journey.
You are. Bible says you're taller than everybody, and you're a goodlier man.
Yeah.
Is that true? Okay. Well, let's recap. Last chapter, before the quiz, Israel was crying out for a king. We want a king. We want to be like all the other nations. We want him to go out to battle for us. We want a king. Now that's what your people were saying in the last chapter. So let's get into this chapter. The story starts with you, Mr. Saul.
Yes.
Your dad comes to you and says that he's got some missing donkeys. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. And he wants you to take a servant with you to go find these missing donkeys. Tell us about that little journey.
So we go out and we're out searching for the donkeys, traveling, trying to get them and find them and bring them home. And we looked all over for the donkeys. You know, multiple towns. We kept going in, looking. Has anyone seen these donkeys? Looking through all the fields and everything. And we just can't find these donkeys. And we've been gone for a while. It's taking a lot of time. We're like, well, you know, they're probably gone forever at this point. And right when I'm ready to give up, I say, let's just go home. You know, everything back at home, we're needed there. Let's just go home, my father, and, you know, we got to forget about these donkeys.
Right.
Now.
It says that you're worried that your dad was probably worrying about you and you can't find the donkeys. Right. So you tell your servant, we're out of here. We're going to go home. The journey's over. And what does your servant tell you?
Well, he tells me, he's like, well, before we go home, he has this idea. He says, there's this man of God. He's the seer, and he lives over in this town. He's like, why don't we go to him, and we'll ask him if he can tell us where the donkeys are. And I start figuring this out. I was like, well, if we go over and we don't even have like a gift to present and bring to him. You know, we've been traveling. We're out of provisions. You know, we don't even have any food or anything to offer. I was like, well, what are we going to do when we show up? And he tells me, he says, well, I have this fourth of a talent of silver. And we can give him that. That can be our gift.
So a fourth of a shekel.
Yeah,
that's all you have left.
It's not much, but you know, it's what he had. He said, it's his idea. He says, let's go talk to him. So they're like, all right, let's go. We'll go find him.
Okay, so then you guys go into the city. Your servant convinces you, let's go talk to the man of God. Let's go talk to the prophet. The Bible calls him, he used to be called a seer.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to know everything. He's the man of God. So he's going to tell you where these donkeys are, because you were out on a mission. You don't want to go back without these donkeys. Okay, so you guys go into a town, and the first thing you see is a couple of young ladies, and they are going out to draw water.
Yeah.
And you go talk to them, and what do they tell you?
So we go and ask him, you know, is he here? You know, is the seer, is the man of God here? And they tell us, like, yeah, he's like, we came at the right time, actually, because there's a big feast, and there's going to be a sacrifice done, and he's going to be there. and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait before they eat. He's got a blessing, and he's there. So he tells, if you go and you hurry, you can find him. It's when he's going to be here. So we run off, and we're going to find him.
Okay, so now you're going to go find him. But before you actually get there, a man comes out into the city, this man, and you ask him.
Yeah, he comes up and he meets us. We ask him, sir, can you tell us like where his house is? Where's the city? We're looking for him. That's who we're looking for. Can you tell us where he lives, or his house is, where he might be? And he tells him he's who we're looking for. He says he's Samuel.
Okay, so he says, I am the prophet.
Yeah, he tells us that.
I am he. I'm the guy you're looking for. And then what does he say?
Yeah, we didn't know at this time, but I guess God told him that we were coming, and he knew all this. And he tells us, before we even get a chance to ask about the donkeys or everything that we're looking for, he tells me that the donkeys, they've been found, they're back at home, everything's all right.
You didn't even ask him?
Yeah, we didn't even ask him. He says, oh yeah, the donkeys are okay, they're safe at home. So it's like, oh, thank goodness, now we can go home. Everything, the donkeys are there, and someone else found them, so everything's all right.
Well, that's kind of strange. You didn't even ask him, and he told you. Okay, so read with me in verse 19. Samuel answered to Saul, I am the seer. Go up before me into the high place, for you shall eat with me today, and tomorrow I will let thee go, and will tell thee all that is in thine heart. Now, this is getting a little strange, because you're out to find these donkeys, and this guy's speaking all kinds of craziness to you. And as for 20, as for thine asses, they were lost 3 days ago. Set not thy mind on them, for they are found. On whom is all the desire of Israel? You know what the desire of Israel is, right?
Well, yeah, they've been wanting a king, is what they've been asking of Samuel now.
Is it not on thee and all thy father's house? So what are you thinking at this point?
Well, at this point, he's asking us to stay with him, to join him and eat. And I'm like, what's he seeing of me? I'm a Benjamite of like the least tribe of Israel,
yeah.
And my family's of like the least of the tribes. So why would he want to be involved with us? But we oblige and we stay with him.
Right. So he didn't tell you exactly what was going on, but you got to, some things are going through your mind. So he says, okay, you need to come with me, and you need to have dinner with me. So tell me about the dinner and the food.
So we meet together and we're having dinner. Of course, there's other people. This is the man of God, so a lot of other people meet him. And he asked them to do something where they put before me like the cut of the shoulder, which is like it's a good piece of meat and something. They put that before me, so that's something of a custom, there that he's honoring me in this way and putting this there. And once again, all these things still going for mine of like. Of the tribe of Benjamin, and of the least of the families. What's going on here,
Yeah.
What's this man getting at?
Okay, so he takes you in. You guys have a meal. He gives you the choicest meat. You get to sit in the finest seat. I can only imagine what you're thinking. Okay, so the next day, he tells your servant to leave.
Yeah, he wants him to go off away, and he wants to have some conversation with me. He wants to tell me something, before he's going to let me go home to my father.
All right, so that's when you guys got up the next morning. So he tells your servant to go away, and in verse 27, and as they were going down to the end of the city, Samuel said to Saul, bid thy servant pass on before us, and it says, but stand thou still a while, that I may show thee the word of God. So now all this stuff has happened. Your donkeys are found. He tells your servant to go away. You found the man of God, and now he's going to tell you what the word of the Lord has told him.
Right, so I'm very serious. So you can imagine how I'm standing there, and what's he going to say next? If he tells me that he's going to tell me what God says, I'm definitely very engaged in what he's about to tell me next. I don't know.
All right, and we'll find out next week.
That's where it cuts off?
That's where it cuts off.
I guess I'll have to wait.
You have to wait. I'm sure we'll see you again, Mr. Saul.
I don't know. I'm just a donkey farmer.
Yeah, I know. Next week, chapter 10.
With beautiful hair.
Samuel reveals to Saul all that God had told him. It's going to be good. Pastor?
You've been listening to a message from the pulpit of Town Center Baptist Church in Happy Valley, Oregon. We invite you to come visit us at 10505 Southeast 85th Avenue in Happy Valley. If we can be of help to you, please call us at 503-659-4494. We wish you God's very best.